Hey everybody, I have just been watching the world's most ridiculous film I have ever seen in my whole life, and I wanted to tell you about it because it involves, okay, 3 things to make a terrible, terrible film. 1, Nazis. 2, zombies. 3, somewhere abandoned that is kind of cabin shaped. And this film contains all 3 elements. We've got Nazi zombies, abandoned cabin, and an abandoned kind of ski resort up in the mountains, no phone signal kind of thing, and I am thoroughly enjoying the general shitness of this film. So with that said, because I don't know, I'm going to try and keep the preamble down a little bit today so that instead of talking about my usual unicorns and ponies beforehand, maybe I'll do it at the end. So I need a bit of a run up today. I need a bit of a warm up. I feel like I'm not very good at talking today. So I'm gonna go through my favourites for this month. It's not a very long list. I think my list gets shorter from month to month, which either means that I'm getting older or more boring. Actually, it probably means both. The first thing is actually a skincare product, and I am not, you know me, I don't really mention skincare on this channel, and that's because I kind of find it a bit boring. I usually use what works for me. If I find a great product, I always mention it because most of the time my skincare routine is so blah that it's not really worth mentioning at all. But I went to a product launch of a brand that comes from New Zealand. The brand's called Antipodes, and I've been really liking this cleanser this month. This is the Juliet Skin Brightening Gel Cleanser, and although I can't really speak for the skin brightening element, people always ask me about my skincare routine, and I don't really do that much to my skin. I'm just kind of lucky, and that sounds so obnoxious, but I literally am. So when I use a product which says skin brightening or, you know, age reducing or whatever, I don't tend to see dramatic effects because I'm just lucky. But I am really short, so it makes up for it, I think. I'm like kind of hobbity gnome size. I am an oil cleanser girl. I love oily cleansers that emulsify and go all kind of milky, and then you rub them off with a flannel or whatever. But I ran out of my favourite cleanser, and this came at a really good time. The thing that I like about this is it hasn't actually made my eczema go crazy, and I'm kind of attributing that to the fact that it has Manuka honey in it. The last time that I used Manuka honey on my face, and I just used literally a warm honey face mask, my skin absolutely adored it. And I'm kind of attributing the fact that my skin really, really likes this to the honey in it. I've never ever used a gel cleanser before, and so far so good. It doesn't make my skin tight, it makes it really, really clean. I double cleanse anyway, so maybe it might not get off your eye makeup, for example, because that's why I like oil cleansers, because they really get every scrap off. But for someone who double cleanses, I think this is a pretty good cleanser. I've been really, really liking it. Next thing I really love this month, we had a kind of warm patch which kind of swiftly faded to about 3 weeks worth of rain, and to be honest, I was kind of tempted to go and build an ark. If I had any construction skills, I would have built an ark. Mainly my skills actually lie in just worrying and doing good liquid eyeliner. Those are the top 2, I reckon. We had a warm patch at the beginning of the month, and I absolutely loved makeup for her face and body for about a period of 10 days. That's all I got out of it, but you can see mine is pretty much nearly done, and I would definitely rush to repurchase this. This is a great light foundation. I think it stamps all over MAC face and body, which is going to be one of those really unpopular opinions, but I don't really give a shit. It's got a weird texture, kind of like jelly. Can you see it? It's gross, really. But it blends beautifully into the skin. I believe it's water-based, so it just gives a really, really light, lovely coverage. It really works with my oily skin. I found that Face and Body went really oily on me very quickly from MAC, but this really stays on all day. It's the perfect shade. They come in a great shade range. And the only thing I hate about this is it smells like old lady's talcum powder. Ugh. But other than that, I love the light, fresh complexion I get from this. It's just, I love this. This is one of my absolute favourite light coverage foundations. Next, I'm going to have to talk about a couple of new things I got this month, actually. NARS Pro Prime Smudge-Proof Eyeshadow Base. I use this pretty much every day this month. I love it. I've even been using it for days when I just want to use Painterly Paint Pot and a slick of mascara. Painterly Paint Pot started creasing on me like a bastard that it is, and I love Painterly Paint Pot because it makes my eyes, I've got really red eyelids and it makes them look less veiny and creepy. So I have been using this underneath and I really love it. It doesn't feel greasy on my eyelids because Urban Decay Primer Potion feels like this horrible oily mess. Ugh, it just seems like an accident waiting to happen. So for me, I've been really liking this. It's really been working to lock down shadows as well, not just normal pressed eyeshadows, but things like MAC pigments or mineralized eyeshadows, which can tend to fade really quickly or just kind of fall off and disappear and end up like on your chin. It really helps, so I'm really impressed with this actually. For blush this month, I'm just going to do a drive-by. You're not even going to see it, it's so fast. Blush Horizon to Chanel. The only reason I don't think you want me to talk about it is because limited edition. That kind of thing is a bit problematic. Suffice to say, I have absolutely no regrets about spending a ridiculous chunk of money on this bad boy. This is a stunning blush. It's not quite pink, it's not quite peach, it's not quite coral, but what it does do is create this really beautiful soft glow across the cheeks, and it's kind of like on the down low shimmer. It's really classy, it's just very uptight and controlled, and for that I love Chanel. This is a stunning blush and such high quality, such a beautiful colour, and when I wear this it just makes my skin look really healthy with the tiniest hint of shimmer. It just looks great. Just looks really good. Now onto a blush you can actually get. This is Illamasqua's powder blusher in Nymph, and the reason I love this is because it gives me that kind of healthy glow, like I've been running, jumping, climbing trees, vitamin commercial girl kind of glow. It's a warm candy pink, and I love the fact that it's matte because it really melds in with the skin's texture. Doesn't really seem too obvious, it just looks really great. It's a beautiful colour, the formulation and pigmentation of this is fantastic. So this is the first matte powder blusher I've owned from Illamasqua. I've got to say, on a regular basis I'm not really a huge fan of a matte blush because I always find them quite difficult to blend. But this, however, this is a dream, and I kept reaching for this throughout the whole month. I'm so glad that this went in the sale because I probably would have never have chanced it if it were full price. Absolutely stunning on the cheeks, just really healthy, and vitamin girl ad if you've ever seen one of those. I don't think I even have seen one of those. Next thing, one thing for lips. This is the YSL Glossy Stain Vernis Levres number 5 Rouge Vintage. I love this because it's an everyday red. It's really easy to wear, and I love the way that you can intensify the colour, you can build it up, and for me it comes out this kind of muted raspberry, and I really love the way that these wear, I love the way that these apply. I just think they're a great product. The only thing I hate about them is the way that they feel. I just don't like the way that these feel. I think they feel uncomfortable, especially for me. I just think that they feel sticky, and especially right now, I'm living right on the seafront. Every time I go outside I'm gonna get my hair sticking right to my lips, and that is not a sexy look. This was probably one of my most used items during the month of April. Last favourite, when I wasn't wearing my Makeup Forever Face and Body Foundation, I was trying to get to grips with Chanel Perfection Lumiere, and Perfection it ain't. I just do not like that foundation. I do not think it's very good. I think for Chanel it's a huge disappointment. I don't know, I just think it's crap. It doesn't work for me. And the only way that I can get it to work for me is by using the Coco Pro Big Fat Firm Foundation Brush. If you're in a rush, this foundation brush is fantastic. It just kind of, you know when Superman walks into a phone booth and then he does that little twirl and then he comes out as Superman? It's kind of like that. That's how I feel about this brush, because the turnaround time on getting crap on my face is really good. It's just really quick. It's just done. That's the only way that I can apply Perfection Lumiere, because I find it sets really quickly. It oxidizes and it's just a bit of a mess really, so I just try and find that I work in sections of my face and I just apply as quickly as I can. Hence the need for the Coco Pro Big Fat Firm Foundation Brush. Well, I guess I could say that the Coco Big Fat Firm Foundation Brush has worked to make me less resentful of the Chanel Perfection Lumiere and hate it just that tiny bit less this month. Now, onto something that I hate and I'm feeling ranty about it. I've had this for ages and I hate it, and I don't know why I hate it, but I feel the need to tell you that I hate it in great and laborious detail, and it's the Estée Lauder Double Wear Zero Smudge Liquid Eyeliner, and there's no need for that many words just to tell me it's an eyeliner. I hate this and I just wish it would die, and it won't. Every time I've done liquid liner I've been wearing this for the past month and it just won't end. Why doesn't it end? If you ever buy this, it's not bad product. I mean, the thing about it is that when you come to remove it, I find that I get it peeling off in strips. I find that really creepy and ugh. The other thing about it is that the applicator is really cumbersome. I just used the word cumbersome, which reminded me of Cumberbatch, which reminds me of Benedict Cumberbatch, who is one of those people that I didn't find him hot and then suddenly I found him hot, and whew, those cheekbones are divine. I don't think I've ever used the word divine. It kind of makes me feel a bit ridiculous. Anyway, I hate this eyeliner. I hate it. I can't even describe. I just hate it. And I want to know if anyone else hates it with me. That's my rant about that. Just, oh, I'm gonna disrespect it by throwing it on the floor. That was basically it. Hopefully you are all well. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully I knew I would just start talking about something completely random, like utter crap as usual. Hopefully you all have a lovely day, everybody, and I shall see you soon. I hope.